Iva. Mēs esam BioAmmo standā. BioAmmo ir munīcija, kas ir vidēji ārkārtīgi draudzīga. Ir čaulītes, kas ir veidots no materiāla, kas dabā sadalās. Tāpat arī viņiem ir līnija, kas ir munīcija, srožu munīcija bez svina. Es šodien parunāšu ar BioAmmo pārstāvī Pīteru Četlendu, un viņš izstāstīs, kas ir jauns, kas ir foršs, kas ir interesants arī Latvijas medniekam. Peter.
Hi Linda. Hi and welcome everybody. This is BioAmmo. We're a revolutionary company in the sense that we're helping to remove all single-use plastics from cartridges. So our cartridges have no plastic in the case and in the wads. So we're avoiding any sort of pollution, contamination, landfill. One of the major issues that confronts society in Europe is what happens to these single-use plastics. We have the solution. You don't need to worry about polluting the planet anymore. You just dig a hole in the ground, bury them, and let nature take the job of disposing of them. Because microorganisms will eat them. They're a vegetable product. So bacteria, lichen, algae will eat them, and that will just dispose of them completely. It does take time. There's no magic.
It's not like 1-2 days now.
No. Water soluble is something that has come onto the market in the last few years, and we know that for some people it's a lovely solution because it seems to disappear in 2 days. But the reason it disappears is usually because it's got PVA in it, which is like a carpenter's glue.
Okay.
And that can contaminate the environment. So it can affect the flora and fauna. It can change the sex of creatures because of the way in which it...
Yeah, because I remember in old Soviet times,
yes,
we had this done out of paper.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever you can imagine duck hunting or
Yes,
geese hunting,
yeah.
whenever there's a bit of water, in the end you couldn't actually fit the cartridge into the barrel.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen to those.
These are not affected by water. So you can store them for as long as you want. You can put them in your pocket on the damp conditions and it's fine. It's not going to be affected.
What happens with the metal part?
This is just an alloy. So it oxidizes, it rusts, and that will just disappear. So you've got something that is environmentally non-toxic, both in the base and in the biopolymer materials as well. Our shot loads include, as has been the case for many years, lead. But we know that lead is being phased out.
Yeah.
It has a finite life. Steel has been the obvious alternative, and for many people it's been fine. In the Netherlands and Denmark, they adapted to steel 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've changed their shot size, they've changed their way of hunting, but they still carry on hunting. They still are happy to do so. But there are some restrictions on steel in terms of its use. People are concerned about ricochets, potential extra wear and tear on the barrels, and also on the way in which it actually is used to be lethal against quarry. And so that's why we brought in another product, which is our BioAmmo Blue cartridge. And for that, we have an alloy that doesn't have any steel or lead or plastic, of course. And that's proving really effective as a hunting cartridge because it's not going to contaminate the environment and it's not going to have the issues that steel or lead have.
So, one of the main issues usually is the price.
Yes.
What about your product?
The blue cartridge is more expensive. There's no doubt about it. We have to accept that the biopolymer material is more expensive and the alloy shot is. However, when you actually compare it to bismuth, it's over half the price of bismuth. So it's a lot cheaper alternative to what other people might choose if they don't want to use lead or steel.
What about other products?
Well,
like,
the range is actually evolving. We're only a new company. We've only been going for 2 years. So we started off with the 12 gauge, 20 gauge is now coming on stream this summer. We're also bringing in slug munitions and also buckshot because there is a demand for those as well, especially for the slug for wild boar. So we know that that's another product that's going to be of interest. Evolving even further, we also have munitions that are called less lethal, which are particularly of interest to law enforcement agencies and military. And then next year, we will start with BioBullet. Now, BioBullet is going to offer people the option of a metallic ammunition which is lead-free. So we've already developed the projectiles for this. We're now going to be preparing to start the factory, and then we'll be producing metallic ammunition.
But that's for hunting, right?
That's for hunting. We're working closely with the Spanish defense sector, as well as universities that have been involved in the scientific developments. But this is going to be applicable for defense, law enforcement, but also sports ammunition.
Okay, that's so interesting. Okay.
We know the direction of travel is lead-free. This projectile, or these projectiles, will be lead-free.
So another question is, what do you offer now? What people can buy in Latvia from BioAmmo for what kind of hunting?
Well, for hunting, you've obviously got the Lux lead, you've got the Lux steel, and now you have BioAmmo blue. So there's 3 products for hunting already on the market, plus the slug and the buckshot.
Oh, that's perfect. But these ones are mainly for bird hunting.
Well, you can go from size 1 or size 2 up to shot size 9. So yes, for the smaller quarry, you've got shot that's available for it. But you can also move up further through birds like pheasants, pigeons, up to even it depends on the country, but deer.
You're a new company, but how are you being accepted in the world, in EU or in Europe?
Well,
what are your?
It's been a challenge. One of the big challenges has been new technology that we've had to introduce. We've never had this material before for cartridges, and so we've had to learn a great deal in the last 2 years about how it actually operates in reality. We've learned a lot, and one of the things we've done in the last 2 years is to change the formulation of the biopolymer material. So it's now slightly more elastic and therefore able to absorb the pressures even better. So the performance has improved, the aesthetic appearance of the cartridges after they've been shot has improved. So from that side of things, the trajectory is upwards, we're getting better. A huge challenge has been competition from people who liked what they see and want to do something similar. Now, somewhere around here I've got all the patents, but we have got a AAA patent. So if people start to manufacture our materials in something that's approximating to us, they'll be breaking our patent. And so we will be saying things to them like, please stop.
Okay, I've used your ammunition for 1 season. Yes, for 1 season for duck hunting mostly.
Yes.
I have one problem. When the empty cartridge drops, I can't leave it here. There, I have to pick it up.
Yes.
Anyway, but as I understand, with your cartridge, it can stay there?
Yep. Most hunters will pick up their cases.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll even be able to pick up their wads, because if you're in the environment, you want to keep it as pristine as possible. You don't want it to be littering. So picking them up is great. However, if you do lose 1 or 2, you don't need to worry, because nature will get rid of it. The microorganisms like bacteria will consume it. Now, it might take a couple of years, might even take a little bit longer if it's colder or drier, or there aren't so many microorganisms around. But when you think that plastic takes 400 years, it's going to turn into microplastics and enter the food chain, I think a little bit of patience is no bad thing, because you know that you're going to have no toxicity, no environmental damage. So picking them up, great. Take them home, put them into the compost heap, dig a hole in the ground, bury them, and let nature take its task.
It's just that easy, because in Europe and the shooting ranges we see a huge problem with these piles and piles and piles of plastic cartridges, and even in Latvia it's not considered to be a safe garbage. You need to take it to special places and pay for that actually.
Well, this you don't need to.
I understand that you're still developing. There are new products, new ideas every year going forward.
Yes.
So hunters are those people who are in the nature and actually taking care of nature.
Yes.
So this is one of the ways to be really responsible and environmentally wise, or something like that.
We are gold patrons of FACE, and they help represent hunters throughout Europe. And we're very much supportive of the hunting community in every country in Europe, obviously globally, but especially in Europe. And we want to work with people who care about the environment as much as we do and want to have a future that's toxic-free, plastic-free. And that's what we can achieve together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.